Joining us now is John McGuire, Senior SIS CIA Case Officer, retired. John, thank you for taking the time. John, the audience right now is very worried about what they are seeing over New Jersey, New York, spreading to other states. What is your theory as to what is happening in the skies of America right now?
Well, Charlie, thank you for the opportunity to join you today. There's some fresh material that just came in through people that I know that are in the farm field and keeping track of this, that now that there's issues with drones on the southwestern side of San Diego and that area of Ventura County, as well as some issues that happened last night in Virginia Beach with drones as well. It's a huge problem when you have the federal government speaking officially via the Secretary of Homeland Security, Mr. Mayorkas, and they're in complete conflict with the state guidance that's given out by the governor of New Jersey. Regardless of what is said, the American public knows that the federal system and the state system are on different pages, and that leads any thinking person to believe that someone is lying. Which side is lying is anybody's guess, but there's a long history of the federal government misleading the public. And to say that there is no danger, that there's nothing to worry about, and these are not a threat, and then have the guidance come out from the state that says, if you see a drone that has crashed or is in your immediate vicinity, call the bomb squad, the fire department, and the fire department will respond as it's a hazmat site, because you don't know what is on the drone that may have dropped out of the sky. And there is confusion and growing concern and anger within the public. And this is part of the rupture of the public trust. So do you think they are foreign in origination or domestic? I think there's a mix of both. I think the United States has operational platforms in the air. There are large drones that are operated by the U.S. government that carry sniffer technology, and they look for things in the air that you might have in a post-incident or post-blast event, that they would be able to find out what it is. You wouldn't have to fly a manned aircraft through a cloud. You could just do it with a drone. But mixed in with that are a whole lot of other drones that no one is talking about from the federal level, like they don't exist, but they do exist. People can see them. And there is a large presence of Chinese operations people and Iranian operations people in Mexico. The largest Iranian embassy in the world is Mexico City, which is a fundamentally Catholic country, and there are no mosques in Mexico, yet the Iranians have their largest embassy's presence in Mexico City. The Chinese have operational components up in the Mazatlan area where they bring things in and out of the port of Mexico. There's a huge port at Mazatlan. And those are all within immediate striking distance of the California border and Vandenberg Air Force Base, where we have a tremendous amount of national assets that are critical to the defense of the country and for early warning. It doesn't bode well for the foolishness that we see in explanations from senior executives for the U.S. federal government. Yeah, and they're not being very clear about what they're doing in the sky. So if you were to speculate then, if they were Iranian in nature, what would they be doing over our skies, just hovering, and why only at night? At night, there is legislation that was passed quietly. I think it was last year where they passed legislation that you could start flying drones at night. For a long time, you could only fly them in the daytime. But they are air obstacles on their best day. We still have air travel all night long, especially in places like Southern California and the East Coast of the United States. It's 24-hour day busy. It's just a matter of time before we have some type of a mishap with aircraft and drones that are in an airspace and they move so quickly they can move vertically, change altitude, and no one's really keeping track of or directing the lanes of traffic. But the fact that the Iranians are here, if you have Iranian drones operating and they're mixed in with other U.S. platforms, and the Chinese can operate platforms like that are good-sized platforms, you have the ability to photograph, see, take visual observation. You can map things. You can have cell phone relays on there. There's a lot of material that goes on a drone, and they refined that test when they did the balloon operation. The balloon operation that floated across the northern United States was, I think, a test operation. They wanted to see what the reaction would be. But the thing that disturbed me the most about that, when you have drones now over the system, is there were delivery racks slung in those balloon rigs that we witnessed the shoot down. When that material was recovered from the ocean, you could see clearly the delivery racks, but they were empty. They wouldn't fly an empty rack, which is a heavy thing that is controlled by the balloon electronically for you to deliver things and drop things from the balloon. And we don't know what was in those racks, and no one seems curious about it in the federal government to find out or to release what was in those racks. And if you drop things from those racks, it's a passive activity. They drop and they hit the ground. And a lot of them can go in the ground just from terminal velocity of falling from the sky, but they can be electronic collection devices, relays. Lots of things can be delivered by balloons. And you can deliver the same things from a drone, but you can arm a drone. And if you have a camera on it and you can see, you can use it as a flyable platform that's accurate and precise in its target.